Hey guys, so I'm back to film a quick reading wrap-up for, let me pull up my notes here for a second. For August, and I want to do my September TBR. And I will add in currently books that I am reading as well into this. So, there's going to be kind of 3 parts to it. But first, I finished Emma of 83rd Street. I actually really enjoyed this book a lot. I will talk, more about it in the From Manhattan to Stars Hollow podcast that I'm doing with my neighbor, Janine. So I don't want to get too into it, but it's basically about a Upper East Sider, Emma Woodhouse, and how it's kind of a modern interpretation of the book Emma by Jane Austen. So it's just about how, she does tries to I don't know what you want to say. Get people to get into a relationship with each other, kind of meddling in a way, but yeah. But I think it was just really well written, and I think the author did an amazing job. So I'm not going to say any more than that, but yeah. And then the next book I finished was As If, the Oral History of Clueless, another book that Janine and I will be talking about in our podcast as well. So I'm not going to, but I just thought, really all I want to say about this book, I enjoyed learning about the character names and the history of the movie Clueless itself. So I just think this is kind of a fun book to read after watching Clueless. Then I just finished Beach Read by Emily Henry. And Janine and I will be talking about this in one of our podcasts at some point. I think we're doing a Emily Henry focused podcast after the first of the year, after we can compare the People We Meet on Vacation book to the movie that's coming out on Netflix in January. So I think our plan then, if I remember correctly, is to do an Emily Henry focused podcast where we just talk about all the Emily Henry books that we read, and now I've read every single one of them up through her newest book that got released back in April. So, and I'm actually this is an author that I'm gonna keep an eye out for new books because I actually really enjoy her. Okay. Then for audiobooks, I finished Freaky Friday. I would probably say I prefer the movie over the book. I feel like the book was a little childish, in my opinion, but I'm not going to get too far into how I felt about that book. Talk about it more on that podcast as well. And then I finished Heartburn by Nora Ephron, which was another audiobook that I finished. I just finished that this morning. So yeah. So for my current books that I am reading, I am still finishing up Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, and I'm actually really enjoying that, so I'm hoping I'll be able to finish that this weekend, maybe. And then I'm still finishing on audiobook Our Last Day in Barcelona by Chanel Clayton. Those are 2 that I'm just doing that's from outside of our TBR that I'm doing with my neighbor. So, yeah, those are the books that I'm currently reading. And then for books for my September TBR, I will get them. I need to read, oh, and I'm also listening to Bride by Allie Hazelwood, which is on my September TBR as well. Got an early start on listening to that. And that's another buddy read I'm doing with my neighbor. And then my next book on my September TBR is Freedom Writers, or The Freedom Writers, however you want to say it, by gosh, who was this other? Erin Gruelon, how do you say her name? So this is gonna be my next book that I read, and this is in our September TBR, so I'm hoping I can maybe start reading that tonight, maybe when I get home from my piano lesson. So this is gonna go on my coffee table, but it's the next book I have. And then the next book on my TBR is Northanger, Abbey. And I'm gonna listen to the audiobook for that, and that's kind of October TBR, but I'm gonna maybe start it early because I know that audiobook has a tendency to be kind of long, and it starts out slow in the beginning, from what I remember. I feel like even reading the book is kind of that way too, from what I remember, which is not one of my favorite Jane Austen books, but no, I'll read it again for this TBR. And then the other book is Rebecca. If I can get that from the library in September, I will listen to that on audiobook. And then another book, Before We Were You, which I'm also going to take out from the Cloud Library app from my local library. That is it for this video. If you guys have any comments of videos I should do, please do comment down below or on my Facebook page, and I hope everybody has an amazing day. Bye.